faithful Niner Empire. What's good? What's good? What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Welcome back to another episode of What's Good with yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Huge shout out to the 49ers Cutback crew. And what a time to be alive if you're a 49er fan. I mean, the 49ers are on a 6-game winning streak. We can win our NFC West division with a victory versus the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football prime time. I mean, I can't wait for the game tomorrow. It's going to be a very intriguing game going up to Seattle. We know we've had some battles against this Seattle team, and I thought the boogeyman was gone. Russell Wilson, obviously he's gone, but who would have thought the Seattle Seahawks team would still be relevant at this time of the year? I thought they were just trying to start Geno Smith and just, hey, let's get a top 3, top 5 draft pick, but they've actually done the opposite. They've been a competitive team. Their offense looks pretty good. The defense is, they like to get a lot of turnovers on defense. They may not be great in certain like statistical categories as rush defense, pass defense, but they definitely like to create turnovers, and they are fired up and ready to play for Pete Carroll. Now, the Seahawks have lost 3 out of the last 4 games. So I think the 49ers are meeting the Seahawks at the perfect time if you're a 49ers fan. But it's still going to be tough going up there against Seattle. Obviously, the Niners have some injuries. Debo won't play. Samuel Womack won't play. Kevin Givens won't play. So who's going to step up for this 49ers team? I'll give you some answers for that later on in the show. But let's get into Jay's 5 big things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5 big.
Number 1, got to protect the rock. As I mentioned before, the Seattle Seahawks team is top 4 in the NFL in takeaways. They love to strip the ball. They love to get interceptions. They've got a rookie corner. I think his name's Tariq Woolen. He leads the team with 6 interceptions. So it's going to be very imperative for the 49ers to protect the ball. I've liked what I've seen from Brock Purdy over these last 2 games. He has thrown technically 2 interceptions in back-to-back games. I know the second one was called back, but I'm willing to live with that as long as he can give me the 3 or 4 touchdown passes. I don't know how you feel, Faithful, but I'm willing to live with 1 pick if he can give me 3 touchdown passes a game and he can create in the pocket. He can evade the rush, give his receivers more time to throw. But obviously, number 1, got to protect the rock, especially in the running game. We can't afford to really give the Seattle Seahawks offense extra opportunity. So protect that rock. Number 2, impose your will. What do you mean, Jay? Well, what do the 49ers do best? We run the ball. CMC obviously had an incredible game, and what a trade. I know we gave up a lot of draft capital to pick up CMC. Like, why are you giving up all this draft capital for a running back? But he isn't just a running back. Like, he's a special player. We know he can catch the ball out the backfield. He can run the ball as well, and he's a special player. And he isn't a 1-year rental. We have him for multiple years, but definitely have to impose our will. That means Jordan Mason. That means CMC. That means maybe we'll see Tevin Coleman if he gets elevated up, on game day. So another reason why we want to run the ball, the Seattle Seahawks are putrid. They can't stop the run. They allow the 2nd most rushing yards in the NFL. So you know what that means. It's going to be a ground and pound game, and the Seahawks are going to have a tough time trying to slow down this 49er rushing attack. Number 3, who steps up, Faithful? Unfortunately, Debo got hurt in last week's game. Fortunately, it's not a season-ending injury, but I think that does leave a void in this offense. We know CMC can basically do everything that Debo can do. But we still need someone else to step up. Hey, Danny Gray got his first catch last week. Maybe Jordan Mason gets more carries. Maybe we will see Tyler Croft maybe get a few catches in this game. But we're definitely going to need another player to step up. Also, who steps up on this defensive line? I mean, Kevin Givens is out. We were already lean on that defensive line with Javon Kinlaw not being out there. Arik Armstead just came back. So who steps up on this defensive line? Will we see a Akeem Spence? Will we see a Kerry Hyder? But those guys definitely need to step up. And hey, maybe we'll see Ayuk. Maybe we'll see Ayuk get some more run and Juwan Jennings. So with Debo's absence, the other guys definitely have to step up. Also with Kevin Givens' absence, the other guys on the defensive line definitely need to step up and make some plays. Number 4. I mean, when I saw that the Seahawks were starting Geno Smith, I was like, oh, well, obviously they're tanking. But I couldn't have been more wrong, Faithful. I mean, I know if you haven't seen Geno Smith, he's thrown 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's a nice 3-to-1 TD to interception ratio. And I was thinking, okay, those numbers are pretty solid. Now, is he actually throwing the ball down the field, or is he just checking it down to his receivers and they're getting a lot of yak? Well, to my surprise, Geno Smith is top 3 in air yards, meaning he's throwing the ball down the field. Not only do they have DK Metcalf, they got Tyler Lockett, they also have Marquise Goodwin. So it'll be a reunion there. We know Marquise Goodwin is a track athlete. He's got speed. He could run. He's very fast. So that's going to be an issue that the Seahawks offense will present to this 49ers defense. And also they can run the ball as well. Kenneth Walker, I checked the injury report. Hey, he's a full participant. So they're going to want to run the ball. But I think the Seahawks offense has been playing well this season. Also, their top 2 receivers, they're nearing 1,000-yard receiving seasons, both of them. So the Seattle Seahawks offense is legit, but obviously this 49ers defense is going to have to get pressure. They're going to have to get after Geno, make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. And one thing I've noticed, like, I love Talanoa Hufanga. We all do, right? We all love Huff, but sometimes, his instincts, his aggressiveness kind of, leaves a player, a corner out there on an island when that wasn't the play design. So you got to take the good with the bad with Huff. He's going to make those big, huge hits. He's going to rely on his instincts, but sometimes he does that and it leaves a void in defensive coverage. We've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. We've seen it the last 2 straight weeks. Tyreek Hill had a touchdown catch. Obviously, Mooney Ward was playing outside leverage, so he was expecting Huff to be on the inside. And Huff wasn't there. So that's why Tyreek Hill got that touchdown catch. Mike Evans last week, the same thing, where Talanoa Hufanga bit on an inside receiver. Mike Evans was wide open. So I think that could be an issue for this 49ers defense. You can't allow the big play. Like I said before, Geno likes to air the ball out. So you can't allow DK to get behind you, Lockett, or Marquise Goodwin. So I think Huff is going to have to tighten that up a little bit. I still want him to be aggressive. It's like you got to take the good with the bad. I kind of think of him as like Draymond Green with the Warriors. Like, you love his tenacity, his passion. Sometimes he crosses that line. Like, you're going to have Huff not cross that line, play discipline, and just do your job. And still have that aggressiveness, but don't let plays go over the top. So it's a fine line, but I think that's something that the Huff can definitely improve on. And the Seattle Seahawks don't have no problem airing out the ball. Number 5, GK. Can we see a huge sighting? Can we see George Kittle get some touches in this game? Obviously, Brock Purdy, he went to him early in last week's game on the first drive. I don't know if you know this, Faithful, but the last time George Kittle played the Seattle Seahawks, he was targeted 12 times. He had 9 catches, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, can we get that type of performance? Obviously, we know Kittle is a mismatch nightmare, and he presents problems to every defense he faced. So maybe if we don't get that much, but at least we should make George Kittle a focal point. Someone else is going to have to be a focal point of the offense since Debo won't be there. Obviously, we know CMC and Jordan Mason, they're going to get their touches, but Ayuk, George Kittle definitely have to step up. Maybe we'll see Juwan Jennings. We know Jimmy G and Juwan Jennings had good rapport, especially on third down. Haven't really seen that rapport from Purdy and Jennings, but hopefully that continues to grow. But let's get Kittle. Let's let Kittle be that offensive force. Let Kittle, make his mark on this game. He's got to be the physical presence on offense that we know Debo provides and Kittle provide, but allow Kittle to provide some of that, with that yak after he catches the ball. Let's get into Hey Jay.
Hey, Jay.
All right. Hey Jay, a segment where the viewers submit questions to yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Let's get the first question. Juicebox, what's good? Juicebox says, can Brock Purdy continue this hot streak in Seattle? Well, Brock Purdy is banged up. He's dealing with a few ailments. Hopefully he plays, but I think Brock Purdy can. We're not asking Brock Purdy to do a lot. Due to his ailments, will his mobility be affected? I think, honestly, I don't know. That's something that we'll have to see play out versus Seattle. But I think Brock Purdy is going to be doing a lot of this. He's going to be handing the ball off to CMC, to Jordan Mason. We need to run the ball 35, 40 times and put this game away and not allow the Seattle Seahawks offense to really get going. But yes, I think Brock Purdy, he can continue this hot streak in Seattle. And I'm looking forward to the game. Appreciate the question, Juicebox. We got the boss. What's good? Who will start next to Arik Armstead on the D line? Well, Kevin Givens got hurt last week. He unfortunately suffered an MCL sprain, so he's going to be out multiple weeks. I would expect to see a combination of Kerry Hyder, Akeem Spence, and possibly T.Y. McGill. I think those will be the three guys you'll see rotating in and out, next to Armstead, and some of them will be coming in for Armstead. And hopefully, I know the Niners picked up a free agent this week, but I anticipate that he'll be on the practice squad unless there's another injury. Appreciate the question, though, the boss. We got Lincoln Hawk. What's good? Lincoln says, what is your biggest concern for the 49ers versus the Seahawks? Man, this is, I think, the elements, the atmosphere. Haven't checked the weather out there in Seattle, but it always rains. And the 12s are a proud fan base. They stand up the entire game. They're rooting for their Seahawks. I think, for me, what scares me the most, I think we can slow down the run game. I think we'll be not allowing the big play over the top. Can Gibson be disciplined in their coverage? I think that can be a huge deal for this offense. If Geno's able to make big plays, throwing the ball deep, I think that could affect the game, the outcome in a huge way. So that's my biggest concern. Can the 49ers defense not get beat over the top, play disciplined coverage, and keep everything in front, which we've been doing really well. But all it takes is 1 or 2 plays, 3 plays a game where it could really flip the field for the offense. So that's my biggest concern, just slowing down the Seattle passing game from a deep standpoint. Appreciate the question, though, Lincoln Hawk.
Away, Jay.
And now it's time for Fade Away Jay. Man, so if the 49ers win this game, we clinch the NFC West division. We also clinch a home playoff game. Then if we really want to get that number 2 seed from the Minnesota Vikings, we do have an edge versus the Vikings as far as seeding. They do have a better record, but we have a better conference record. So the Vikings, they have their next 4 games. They have some games. I think they only play 1 playoff team, I believe. The rest of the 3 aren't really vying for playoffs. So the Vikings should be able to win, the next 3 out of 4, but you never know. You never know. The 49ers, we've got some tough games ahead of us. Tampa Bay, no, excuse me, not Tampa Bay, Washington Commanders. They love to play the Niners. They every time we play them, the last few times, it's always been a tough defensive battle. So, they're not going to give anything away, and they're vying for a playoff spot as well. The Raiders, the Cardinals, but you never know. They might want to play spoiler. So, but this is a huge game. It sucks that Debo's hurt. Sucks that Kevin Givens is hurt. But we're just going to have to rely on the rest of our weapons against the Seattle Seahawks team. Of course, I think the 49ers are going to win this game. I'm going to take the 49ers to win 27-20. And I think Brock Purdy will continue to play well. CMC will continue to have a great game. I'm thinking George Kittle will have a standout game. I think he will show up and show out, and hopefully Brock Purdy, targets him early and often. And I think this defense will definitely have to get some turnovers against this Seattle Seahawks offense. But it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. The Niners are going to be wearing their white jerseys, which are so crisp and clean. And I can't wait for this game in front of the world on Amazon Prime. And I think the Niners should be able to take this game. Thanks for watching. Yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Another show of What's Good. I'll see you guys next week. Go Niners.